Let's now link our project to an existing database. On this example, I'm going to use an SQL Server database that I have on my PC. I also have established an ODBC connection to this database. Let's go to Database on our project, where we must create a database connection profile. A database connection profile is how we tell to Kalipso how it can connect to the database. We press the Add button and we give it a name. Let's call it Webinar. Kalipso always connects to external databases over ODBC. Basically, you can connect to any existing database as long as it has ODBC access. Like I've said before, I've pre-created an ODBC connection to the database that I displayed before. You can also check out the ODBC defined on your PC, and you can see that I have Kalipso Demo English as an SQL native client connection. All I have to do now on my project is to define the user and the password to access that same database. We press Save, and now Kalipso knows how to connect the database that I want. Let's import structures from that database. Having selected the profile, on the right we press the Add Table button. We press the Next button and it displays all the tables of that database. Let's just select the ones that I've created. We select them all and we press Next. As you can see, we can also select which columns to import. In our case, we are going to import all the columns. Don't worry if you don't import a column, because you can always re-import it later again. Press Next. It prompts me to add more tables. We are going to say no. Now, as we can see, we have successfully imported the table's definition from an external database into Kalipso. And these tables are associated with the profile that we've just created. If we close, we can also see here on the left that that profile is in offline mode. Basically, on Kalipso, you have two ways of working. You can define a profile as being online or being offline. When you say that you are working in online, you are basically saying that you will access the server's database every time. You are always connected to the server's database, and whatever operation you try to do in your project will be run on the remote server. This requires a permanent connection, TCP/IP. If you work in offline, a replica of the database that you want to work with will be created on the mobile device. All that creation and all that management is made automatically by Kalipso. You just need to define which actions you want to execute over the database. Let's not worry for now if we are going to work in online or in offline, for we can define that at any moment of our application. For now, let's just try to display some data on the screen. You can create a table object, or you can simply drag and drop the database table that you want onto the background of the form. This pop-ups a wizard where we are going to select that we want to create a table control. It prompts us which columns we want to display, and we are going to select only column code and column name. We press Done, and the object is created. We adjust its size, and now Kalipso knows what it has to do to fill in this object. We can check its properties by double-clicking it, and we can see that the content of this object it's actually two physical columns, each one of them connected by source to the articles table and to the respective column that we want to display. So Kalipso now knows how to fetch data from the database, regardless of being in online or in offline, and display it on this object. But Kalipso won't display data until we tell him to. For that, we are going to the Form Properties, and again to the Actions tab. We can see that we can do something when the form opens. And what we want to do on this case is a refresh control. We want to refresh the object that we've just created. We press Save, thus telling to Kalipso, when the form opens, please, according to the definitions of the object, refresh it. Notice also that Kalipso has automatically created an error management set of actions. Basically, we are saying that if an error has been generated by this action, we want to display a message box, which we can edit and see that the message being displayed is a keyword, error message, which obviously holds the error message caused by the previous action. We can also see that this block is a string expression that we can edit and also check out remaining keywords. The following action is a cancel, which is basically telling that the following actions won't be executed, so everything is cancelled. No matter what comes after, that will not be executed. Now, to increase the readability of your actions, you are able to collapse the on error. Notice that this doesn't delete anything, it just removes out of sight. We press Save, and now we've told to Kalipso how he can refresh this object. Let us now test our project again. Notice that we now are able to generate a data file. Also notice that for now our project is stated as an offline. So if we want to test it, we need data. Since we haven't set up any means of synchronization or set up the project to online, we need to send data along with the project. For that, we select the Generate Data File option. This will cause to Kalipso Designer to access the server's database and send all the data existing there from the tables that we are using. Notice that this is not sample data, this is actually the data existing on the server. We press the test button, and the data is displayed exactly as it is on the server. Notice also here on this left window where we can see a trace of the actions being executed. We can see that when the form opens, a refresh control was executed. We can also see that this refresh control has produced a select statement over the database. We can also see that there was no error returned by that action and everything worked as expected.